Hello, mortals. How are you doing today? So today we are continuing on with some extra world building for the Helpful Priest, which today, instead of doing more sketch pages and talking about the story, we're gonna talk about the magic system for the world that the main character gets reincarnated in the Helpful Priest. So basically, hold on, adjusting my stuff. Basically, because it's inspired by the new aged anime isekais, I am extremely fond of the. Oh, how dare you only do a dot? Why did you only do a dot? That's what I thought. I am extremely love the idea of the stat menu. Because honestly, that is something that, for me personally, I just love the idea of it. It's so dumb to have such a video game plot or a video game element in a real life system that I just adore it. I don't know how to spell skills. Pretty sure there's only one S. Whatever. Or one L. God damn it. Whatever. But yeah, point being, the magic system's base is based off of a stat sheet, which primarily is built on 5 or so stats. I haven't solidified the stats themselves down yet, but the main stats that people get is strength. They get vitality, which is health. They get defense, obviously. They get spirit. Whatever. And magic. Now, once again, these are not solidified for me. I kind of feel like adding one more. I kind of feel like maybe changing these around a bit. But for the most part, this is what I imagine when I think of the stats of this universe. Okay, I can't go all the way over. All the way down? Yes, I can. Good. Okay, I just have to double check things. But yeah, strength is pretty straightforward. Strength is just how physically powerful you are, how hard you can hit, how hard, and that's pretty much all that is to that. Oh, wait, no, there is one more I wanted to add. Yes, no, this is a very key part of the fucking plot. Endurance. I don't know why I have the abbreviation being N, but that's funny. I'm keeping it that way. But yeah, strength is the most straightforward one. It is how hard you hit, how physically powerful you are. That is it. That is what strength is. It's very straightforward. Vitality, on the other hand, is how hardy your physical body is, how likely you are to become sick from viruses and poisons, but also how much damage you are able to endure before you die. Vitality, still pretty straightforward. Not that complicated, but there's more to it than strength, obviously. Then defense is about as straightforward as strength. Strength is purely based off of how much your physical attributes go outward, while defense is your physical aspects inward. How much damage you can nullify without having to worry about it. Someone with low defense will be hurt by normal kicks and punches, but someone with a high defense has a chance of a building falling on them and they're just getting up and not worrying about it. And the reason why vitality and defense are different, because I know sometimes they're mixed together, obviously, is because I want a separate stat for actually health, and keeping defense separate from that. Someone can have low vitality but high defense, so it's hard to actually damage them, but if you do, they go down like a sack of potatoes. And that's what I want from that. Spirit, I may also change that to faith instead of spirit. I feel like faith no. Let's change that to, hold on. There's the eraser tool. Where is the eraser? Where is the eraser tool? Oh, right. It's a marker. Or a pen, or whatever the hell these things are called. Brush. I don't remember, dude. Whatever. I mean, I found it. But yeah. Faith is your religious power. What I mean by that is, I guess let's compare it to magic at the same time. Magic is your ability to manipulate the magical properties that exist within the world, while faith is your ability to manipulate the magical force of the world with the strength of the gods of the world. God or gods. I still leaning more towards gods rather than just a god. I prefer the idea of pantheons over a single deity. That's just a personal thing for me, so I'm probably going to lean towards that from now. Unless I'm convinced otherwise by myself or my friends. But yes, faith and magic are different because magic is your own ability to manipulate forces, while faith is you using the power of the deities to manipulate forces. And the main key difference with that is, with magic, you can be as creative as you want. The limit to magic, your magical ability, is basically similar to an edge of a circle, where there is no actual limit unless you determine that there is one. Because, as we all know, mathematically, the circle doesn't have an actual, corner or edge, but if you say that this is the point where it is, then that's where it's going to be. While faith is more of a square. There's defined edges and corners, and this is the ruling that you must stick to when using their power. For instance, with magic, to do fireball, you simply command the fire element to just explode within an area. But to do so with faith, you would have to have... I'm probably not going to have it this way, but this is just a way for me to explain the difference. You would have to have a particle coming from you to the spot you want detonated for fireball to activate. Magic generally gives you more creativity, but faith is easier to use overall. Because you don't have to think about it, you just have to follow the rules that is given to you by the deities. And that's the difference between faith and magic. The higher your faith is, the more you're able to bend and choose rules to your digression, rather than strictly following the rules of the gods themselves. So someone who was F rank in faith had to follow every single possible spell to the letter, but someone with an S rank would be able to bend the rules so much it looks like an entirely different spell. And I like that a lot. I thought about that, and I was like, yeah, I like these. And that's the thing with faith and magic. And then endurance is basically willpower. It is the manifestation of how much you can endure, period. Everyone's endurance is relatively low. Pretty much all Fs and Ds. However, the Helpful Priest has a new status, L. No, it's not for loser. He has legendary levels of endurance. So long as he does not give up, he can endure anything. But he just has to keep moving forward. And this is why endurance is so important to the fucking plot. Is because Everyone's endurance, no matter how much they will it, they cannot sustain the same torment, punishment, and cruelty that the main character is fated to endure. And that's why he has to have a mind-bogglingly high endurance so that he has a new letter to determine what that is. Speaking of which, the lettering system is really straightforward. It goes F, D, C, B, A, S, 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 and then L. I'm debating on if I want to have a triple S or even X in between these two, but I haven't decided that yet. This is the current baseline at the moment of the American grading system, and then the cool things. I'm kind of tempted to have the X just because I feel like it breaks it a little bit better, but I don't know. I'll probably leave it as is for now. But this is the baseline for that of this world. Next up, this is the baseline for the stats of the new world that he gets reincarnated in. Sorry, I said it wrong. Is this new? Yeah, that's new. Alright, but next up we have the actual magical aspect of the world. So, the world is extremely similar to Earth, where it is a blue ball of rock and water that's just kind of floating through space. However, unlike Earth, the new world that he gets reincarnated in has special magical properties. So Earth has the normal ozone layer, right? And as well as a magnetic field. This keeps the world safe from, radiation from the sun. However, this new world, instead of having an ozone layer, or even it still has a magical field. Science doesn't stop that. However, the main thing that protects this world from it is, outside of its ozone layer, there is a thicker layer of protection. So instead of just having the ozone and magnetic field for protection, there's an increased layer that's simply known as magic. Not sure if I want to give it a creative name or not, but the secondary layer is called the Breath of the Gods. I don't know why I'm writing this out, but I am. Of the gods. So this second layer goes all the way to from the outer layer all the way to the deepest reaches of the core of this planet. The Breath of the Gods adds an extra layer of protection so that not even asteroids are able to harm this planet. There is no outside influence of space that has ever occurred on this planet. Anything that happens within this planet happens within its own reaches. And this Breath of the Gods layer is also what allows people to both use magic and faith to cast spells. And once again, how spells work is magic is how creative you are. If you wish to use a fireball using magic, you simply think of a location and then it blows up. However, with faith, instead of simply choosing where it happens, you also need to have something go forward. However, because you are following faith, the payoff is much bigger. So once again, magic allows you to be more creative, but faith is more reliable and usually more powerful. This is also why healing spells are primarily used with faith, because the creativity needed to heal someone has to go down to the molecular level, which this world has not discovered how to do yet. So, people of faith are the primary and pretty much sole healers of this world. Because while someone using magic can, they would have to understand the molecular bonds that allow people to be connected. And given that their science is not fully there yet, they cannot do that. Also, I like how I went from it looking like an hour molecule to I don't know what the fuck this is anymore. But that's the basic for the magic system for the helpful priest. But then with that, going back to the status menu. So with the status menu, anyone can pull up their own status menu at any given time. It's kind of like a muscle that you kind of learn to use, kind of like how you don't really have to think about it, but if you think about it, you have to blink and breathe, as well as think about your tongue being there. That's basically how the stats menu goes. It just kind of always exists, but it's pretty much just tucked away and can be activated at any given time. However, no one can read anyone else's skills. No one can read anyone else's skill sheet. This is solely the ruling of this, the person who brought up the stat. No one else can really read it except for our main character, because the goddess has blessed him with special little glasses, because I can't stop thinking about him with glasses in the new world, but I had to give him a reason for that. I couldn't just let him just have glasses just because of it. No, I wanted a reason. His glasses are magical, and they allow him to see the stats of other beings. This is a literal impossibility in this world, and so after meeting his first new companion and realizing, oh fuck, that's weird, he does his best to keep that on wraps. He obviously still looks and pries at people, but he does not say what he knows, because as it said, it's impossible for anyone to know the stats of anyone else, or at least with just a glance. There are special orbs and objects that exist that allow people to demonstrate their stats and skills to others, but this is fixed location things that everyone knows about, and you have to purposely interact with it to show other people. His glasses allows him to bypass all of that. They're mobile, they're secretive, and he can forcefully look at other people's stats. For the most part, this won't be too important for the plot, but I just feel like it's a neat thing for me to try to like bounce around ideas with him for the most part. But then that leaves us, honestly, I don't think I need to draw this last thing, which is how skills work. Because as you can see with this thing, it has skills. And pretty much the way that skills work is everyone is born with 1 to so many skills. I don't know if there's a cap or not. I haven't really fucking cared. And basically, outside of the title, no one knows how skills work until they figure it out. Like, for instance, anyone... Should I start with that? Yeah, no, that'll be a good way to start. So, in this world, there are demons, and what makes a demon is the skill called Blood of the Demon. Or Demon's Blood, or whatever the fuck. I don't know what the hell it's called. I forgot. But Blood of the Demon is a skill that will guarantee you are born with 1 double S rank skill. That is a guarantee that anyone with this skill within the demon bloodline gets. And this is why demons are terrifying to people, because they are guaranteed to have one skill that is maxed out. Or what people think is maxed out. However, just by looking at the wording, you would never know what Demon's Blood did. It's just, oh yeah, Demon's Blood. I guess you have Demon's Blood in you. What the fuck? It took several generations for the beings on this planet to realize what that did. And not only that, that it's hereditary too. Anyone born from someone who has Demon's Blood also gets this ability. And then another example of this is just a skill like, let's say, Stone Eater. You would have no idea what the fuck that meant. Does that mean you can eat rocks? Does that mean you would absorb rocks? Does that mean you should get nutrition from rocks? You would have to experiment to try to figure out what this skill does for you. And well, that's pretty much the thing with skills, is that they could be as direct or as vast as possible. Like, for instance, the companion that the helpful priest will get, she will have the ability, or not ability, the skill called adaptability. And basically how adaptability works, she believes her whole life that it doesn't do anything. However, what it actually accomplishes is while she's fighting, her stats will adjust depending on how she's fighting an opponent. However, it takes time to ramp up and it goes slowly. So she's always just assumed that that was just her natural skill that and determination that allowed her to beat certain opponents that she thought she wouldn't be able to. When in fact, it's her skill called adaptability that literally boosts her stats. So all of her, I intend to have all her stats either be C or D rank. I'm not sure which. I think I'm gonna go with D just because I think that'd be funnier. But basically, as she's fighting, like, if she's fighting a ranged opponent where she has to try to get in close, her stats, her adaptability will increase her vitality, her strength, will increase her defense and vitality until she's able to close the gap. Maybe I should have a speed stat or something. Yeah, maybe. I'll think about it. I don't want to have too many stats. Or on a similar note of needing agility, she would, if she was fighting someone who was wielding a giant weapon that would crush her in an instant, she would once again have her vitality and defense increased until she's capable of surviving a hit. Or until she can take the best bitch down. Once again, skills can be as broad or as simple as determined by who makes it. And by who, I mean me. Because that gives me a lot of creative freedom to be as clever or as mindless as I want. But, I think that'll do it for this one. I recorded a good amount, and I think I got a good amount of information. I hope it wasn't confusing, that you can understand my thought process with all of this. But if you did enjoy yourself, please leave a like. And if you would like to see more content, please subscribe. I hope you have a very lovely day. Goodbye.